Hello and welcome, students. How are you? I think all of you are safe. Welcome, all of you, into my chemistry channel. And in this channel, we are going to discuss some important topics of chemistry in detail. The specialty of this particular channel is we should discuss all the important topics of chemistry in details, and also we explain all the exceptional facts and also some important parts of the chemistry that create some problem to the students. So if you are new in this channel, please subscribe my channel so that you can get this type of videos after some time in weekly or in month basis. Today we are going to discuss one of the important topic of thermodynamics, that is intensive and the extensive properties of matter. Here we should discuss the intensive and the extensive properties of matter. Not only that, we should also discuss how to identify the different properties. There are so many number of physical properties at present. Now, how you should identify which property is intensive property and which properties are extensive property. Now, in doing that, first of all, you have to know what are the properties of matter. What are the properties of matter? Now, properties of matter is differentiated into two parts. Either this properties depends on the fact that we change the chemical substance into new one. Can you change the chemical substance in new one or not? Some of the properties, those are known as the chemical properties, which are associated with the fact that if you change the chemical substance into a new one, that is, you change the identity of the substance, then those properties are known as the chemical properties. So chemical properties are those which relates with the change in the identity of the substance. That is, for example, you can take examples like reactivity, chemical reactivity, or you can say inflammability. These are the properties. In knowing those properties, you have to change the identity of the chemical substance. There are some other properties. You don't have to change the identity of the chemical properties, or you have changed the compound into newer one, and the properties associated with that is known as physical properties. So physical properties are those which is associated with the fact that when you do not change the chemical substance into a newer substance or new compound. Now again, physical properties is divided into two parts. Number one, that is, these properties depend on amount of substance or not. There are some properties, some physical properties that depends on the amount of the substance. Those properties are known as extensive physical properties, which properties that depends on the quantity of matter present, the amount present. Those properties are known as extensive properties. For example, you can take like mass, volume, length, shape. There are so many properties. And there are some other physical properties which are independent on, they are not depends on the quantity of matter present in the system, and those properties are known as intensive physical properties. Those are known as intensive physical properties. You can take some examples like color, melting point, boiling point, density. These are the examples of some intensive physical properties which are independent on the amount of the substance or quantity of the substance present in the system. Now we explain the extensive and the intensive properties in detail, by which you can easily, so easily, you can identify which property is extensive and which property is intensive in nature. Now we move on to next topic, that is the extensive property. Which properties are known as extensive property? Now in definition we see the properties which is depend on the quantity of the matter. Quantity, how much quantity of the matter present in the system. That quantity of the matter, you can say that depends on the mass of the system, or you can say that number of moles or molecules, like this. So those properties should be termed as extensive property, which are depends on the quantity, that is mass, or you can say moles, number of moles present in the system, or how much how many number of molecules present in the system. All those it's known as extensive properties. Now let us take some examples like mass, that is depends obviously quantity of matter. Mass means the quantity of matter present. Volume, that is also depends on the mass or quantity of the substance. Some other thermodynamic parameters like internal energy, enthalpy and entropy, all those thermodynamic properties, those are depends on number of moles, number of molecules, how much amount present in the system. So all those properties are termed as extensive properties. Those are depends on the quantity of the matter present in the system. Now we take an example. Just you take 200 ml of water in a conical flask. This conical flask contains 200 ml of water. Now you remove 100 ml of water from this conical flask, and this conical flask contains 100 ml of water. Now you see that what are the properties has been changed by changing the amount of the substance. Now the mass, if you consider mass, is it changed? Exactly. Mass of 200 ml of water is greater than that of mass of 100 ml of water. So mass has been changed. So mass is extensive property. Volume is also changed because it is 200 ml and it is 100 ml. Internal energy, that depends on the number of moles and molecules, also enthalpy and entropy, all those properties that depends on number of molecules, and those number of molecules or moles also changed from beaker. If you consider this one is beaker A and this one is beaker B or conical flask A or conical flask B, then all those properties like mass, volume, internal energy, enthalpy, entropy, all those properties has been changed if you change the volume from 200 ml to 100 ml. That's why those properties are termed as extensive property, because they are depends on the quantity of matter or how much amount of matter present in the system. Now we discuss what is intensive property. Now, what is intensive property? Intensive property is just opposite that of the extensive properties. Here, the properties which is independent on the quantity of the matter present. This not depends on the number of moles or molecules, the mass of the substance present in the system. If there are some properties which are independent on the quantity of the matter present in the system is known as intensive properties. Those properties are known as intensive property. That should not be changed if you change the number of moles or molecules or mass of the substance present in the system. Let us take some examples like temperature, pressure, density, viscosity. All those properties, those are independent on the quantity of the matter present in the system. There are some other properties like you can say boiling point, or you can say melting point, or like other properties like freezing point, like this. Those properties are independent on the quantity of the matter present in the system. What is the amount of matter present in the system? Now let us take an example. Let us take two beaker A and beaker B. They contain some amount of water. Beaker A, suppose it contains 100 ml of water, and beaker B, it contains, for example, 200 ml of water. Now if you measure the boiling point of the water present in beaker A and beaker B, then you can see that both the beaker, the water present is different, but the boiling point will be same if the standard atmospheric pressure is 1 atmospheric pressure. So boiling point is such a property that does not depend on what is the amount of substance present. Either you take 1 liter of water, or you take 2 liters, 5 liters, 10 liters, whatever may be the amount of water present, the boiling point will always be 100 degrees Celsius. This is important. It never changes if you take pure water and normal 1 atmospheric pressure. So the boiling point should be termed as intensive property because it is independent on the amount of substance or amount of mass or moles present in the system. So these are the intensive properties. Now we explain intensive or extensive properties in a different way. Just you think that you have a beaker, and this beaker contains some amount of water. It contains some amount of water. For example, it contains 1000 ml of water. It contains 1000 ml of water. Now you divide this amount of water into two parts. One part contains some amount of water having 600 ml. It contains 600 ml. And the another part, it also contains some amount of water, and this part contains 400 ml of water. Now in doing this, by changing the 1000 ml into 600 and 400 ml, what are the properties has been changed and what are the properties which are not changed? The properties like color, temperature, density, molecular weight, surface tension, or even pressure, those properties should not be changed in doing this. For example, you take color. Color of 1000 ml water, is it different from the color of 600 or 400 ml of water? Never. Water, whatever may be the volume of water, the color will be always same. So color should be considered as intensive property. Is there any change in temperature? If you consider that this beaker having water with 25 degrees Celsius, then this beaker also having 25 degrees Celsius, and this one also having 25 degrees Celsius. There should be no change in the temperature. So temperature will also be considered as intensive property. If you consider density, so density of water, that is 1 gram per cc. Then if you divide that water into 400 and 600 ml, then is there any change in density? No, never. The density here is also 1 gram per cc. Here also 1 gram per cc. So there is no change in density if you change the mass or the moles or number of molecules. So the number of moles or molecules does not determine the density of the water in 1000 ml or 600, 400 ml. All are same. Again, molecular weight or molar mass, that is also independent on the amount of the substance. Here the molecular weight of water is 18. In this case also the molecular weight of water is 18. Here is also 18. If you consider surface tension, that is also depends on the nature of the molecules, and if you take the same liquid, that is water, where the nature of the molecules are same, so surface tension will always be same in doing this. If you change the 1000 ml into 600 and 400 ml, this is also intensive property. And pressure is also in all the cases will be same. So all those properties like color, temperature, density, molar mass or molecular weight, surface tension or pressure, so always be same. If you change the quantity of the substance, the quantity of the matter, so those properties are independent on the amount of the substance present in the system. Now we look forward some other properties like number of moles. Is it change? Number of moles from 1000 ml to 600 and 400 ml exactly changed. Number of moles will be greater in 1000 ml, which will be less in 600 or 400 ml. So number of moles is extensive property, which that depends on the number of molecules or number of moles or quantity of the matter. Mass, that is also extensive property because it depends on the number of moles or molecules or quantity of the matter. Volume, that should also be changed from 1000 ml to 600 and 400 ml. Volume is also changed. Energy, that will be also changed because if you consider the hydrogen bonds present in water or any type of energy, that is, you can say that internal energy, those energies are known as the internal energy. The number of molecules present in the system that determines the internal energy. If the number of molecules are greater, then internal energy should also be greater. So energy should be changed if you change 1000 ml to 600 and 400 ml. So these are the properties like moles, mass, volume, energy. These are the properties. Those properties depends on the number of moles and the molecules. That's why these properties are known as extensive properties. So we discuss the properties, some of the properties as extensive and the intensive properties with some suitable examples. Here we should consider that intensive property that is non-additive. Intensive properties are non-additive, but extensive properties are additive. Just take an example that you take a beaker of water having temperature 25 degrees Celsius and take another beaker having water with 25 degrees Celsius. If you add this water into this one, then the volume of water will be increases. Volume will be changed, and the volume of A will be the addition of the water already present in A and that is present in B. But the temperature should not be changed. Temperature is not additive property. If the 25 degrees Celsius water with added with another 25 degrees Celsius, the temperature never changed to 50 degrees Celsius. So this is an important property, that intensive property is non-additive. You never add, but the extensive property is additive one. Extensive property is additive property, but intensive property is non-additive property. Now we discuss some relationship in intensive and extensive properties. Those relationships are important for the determination of different types of properties. Let us consider the intensive property as I and extensive property as U. Then the relationship like this, these are the very important relationship. It is if intensive property is subtracted by intensive property, that should be intensive property. Intensive property is added with intensive property, that will also give intensive property. Intensive property divided with intensive property, that will also give intensive property. And when intensive property multiplied with intensive property, that will also give intensive property. Now there are some other properties, like intensive property is added with extensive property, then the new property will be extensive property. Intensive property divided by extensive property, then the property will be extensive property. And extensive property subtracted from intensive property, then the property will be extensive property. So these are the some relationship. Again, also I give some relationships, like extensive property subtracted from extensive property, the new property will be extensive property. Extensive property added with extensive property, the new property will be extensive property. And this is important. Just see, extensive property is divided by extensive property, the new property will be intensive property. If the one extensive property is divided by another extensive property, then the new property that will be intensive property. And extensive property, if multiplied with another extensive property, that will be extensive property. So these properties we can use to determine the properties of different substances, and those properties, either it will be extensive or intensive, that can be determined by using those relationships. Here we give some examples of the extensive and the intensive properties. Like extensive properties: energy, entropy, Gibbs free energy, length, mass, particle number, number of particles, number of moles, number of amount, that is volume, electrical charge, the weight. All those properties should be considered as extensive property. These properties are known as extensive properties because these properties depends on the number of moles and the molecules or the quantity of the substance present in the system. But these are the intensive properties, the list of intensive properties chemical potential, concentration, density, or specific gravity. If any properties that is written as specific, then that is always be considered as intensive property. If it is written as specific, now heat, specific, heat, if specific terms comes, then that is intensive property. The volume is extensive property, but the molar volume, that is intensive property. If the moles or the amount is fixed, then those properties should be termed as intensive property. Intensive properties are those which are independent on the mass of the substance. Then specific gravity or specific heat or specific heat capacity, just like this, all those properties have in fixed amount, fixed moles. That's why those properties are known as intensive properties, like ductility, elasticity, hardness, melting point, boiling point, pressure, specific energy, specific heat capacity, specific volume. Any property that is starts with specific, spectral absorption, temperature, viscosity, surface tension, all those properties should be termed as intensive properties, because those are independent on the amount of the substance present in the system. Now the problem, some students are having problem for this. This is the important question, and most of the time I see that students not properly understand why the density and the pressure is considered as the intensive property. Now first of all, we should consider about the density. Now density, what is density? Density means mass per unit volume. Now mass is extensive property. Mass is extensive property, and also volume is extensive property. So density is the ratio of two extensive properties. But as we all know that the ratio of two extensive property will be intensive property. Intensive property. That's why we can say that density is intensive property. Other words, you can say that you take a beaker having some amount of water. Now if you change some amount of water, if you change some amount of water into a new beaker, then if the density of this liquid is D, then density of this liquid is also D, because it is an internal property. Density is internal property that is independent on what is the amount present in the system. Just it depends on the nature of the substance. Now another one, that is pressure. Pressure is intensive or extensive property. Pressure is actually intensive property. Now what is pressure? Pressure is equals to force per unit area. Now what is force? Force means mass into acceleration. Now mass is extensive property and acceleration is intensive property. So the extensive property, if multiplied with intensive property, then it comes to be extensive property. E when multiplied by I, extensive property multiplied by intensive property, the new property that is comes as extensive property. Now area is always extensive property because it is depends on the quantity of the matter substance, so it is also extensive property. Now force is the ratio of two extensive properties, that is considered as intensive property. So in this way you can explain the pressure is also intensive property. You can also explain pressure as intensive property in some different ways, like this. We can consider that pressure P, pressure P equals to PV equals to N RT from ideal gas equation. Now you can write P equals to N by V RT. N means number of moles, which is substituted by W by M into V RT. Now W by V equals to density. This is density. So W by V is changed with density dRT by M. This M is molar mass. Now we can say that D density, it is intensive property. R is constant, T temperature is also intensive property, and the mass, that is molar mass, not mass, molar mass, that is also intensive property. So the multiplication of two intensive property, that is intensive, and the molar mass, that is also intensive. So the ratio of two intensive property, that is also intensive. In this way, you can explain why the pressure is considered as intensive property. This is another important fact. Sometimes students do not understand properly why the pressure should be considered as intensive property. Now we are going to discuss what are the basic differences between the extensive and the intensive properties. The differences between the extensive and intensive properties already you can consider from our previous discussion. That is, first of all, you can say that extensive property is the dependent property. It depends on mass or moles, but it is independent property. It is independent on mass or moles or quantity of the substance. Second one, the size does not change in case of intensive property, but extensive property size must be changes. It cannot be computed. It cannot be computed. It can be computed easily. Can be easily identified. Most of the time, intensive property can be identified easily, and the extensive property, it is somehow difficult to identify some of the extensive property, but this is not a too difference, because after understanding all those facts that we discussed here, you can easily identify either it is intensive or extensive. So you can remove this last point, because after the study of this extensive and intensive property related lecture, I think you can easily identify which one is extensive and which one is intensive property. Today I discuss up to this. In the next video I will discuss about the thermodynamic property. So today I discuss up to this. Thank you very much for seeing this video. Okay, thank you once again.